Jack wanted to make an entrance.
It was worth it. Worth it.
We're going to dub his What Culture pro wrestling music over the top of that?
I'm supposed
Whoa.
And then out of nowhere, a spear from Primer.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I'm supposed to be the acting graduate, by the way. Anyway, now that that's all said and done, welcome to a very special edition of the Preview Podcast, where we are going to look at NXT TakeOver, which takes place in Toronto this Saturday, the night before Survivor Series.
Yes.
Are you guys looking forward to the show?
Very much. I always look forward to takeovers.
Yeah.
It's looking like it's going to be a good card. There's not so many matches on this card, I should say, but the length of matches could be a very crucial.
I mean, how many matches were there in Brooklyn?
I think there was 7. I could be wrong, but I think there was
Really?
about 7. Yeah.
I thought there was not as many. What there's No Way Jose, Ember Moon, Bobby Roode,
Tag match. Asuka.
Yeah, there must be 6.
Joe.
And the title match. 6.
Yeah. I mean, like these ones, there's nothing going to be added, is there? They've all tapings.
I would imagine so, unless there's a real big surprise, then I don't imagine there's going to be anything added to the card. But the card does look very good. We're going to have a little run through of the card and just get the thoughts of the 2 true titans of WhatCulture.com. Let's start.
What's your theme tune, Adam? Why haven't we heard it yet?
We don't need a theme tune.
Right,
I'm theme tuneless.
I've heard a rumor.
fired, but thank you for bringing that up.
Sorry.
That's only the second time this week, if you haven't seen the announcement of Johnny Mundo.
That's right, coming soon to What Culture Pro Wrestling.
Jack is actually heartless.
Whoa, Jack, do you like
And
New
also
Japan Pro Wrestling?
I was doing my parkour, my Johnny Mundo thing.
Oh, right.
I wasn't just revealing
I
the
thought you were
shirt.
just like, guys, check out the wrestling highlight.
Well, just at the least appropriate time. There we go. I'm just going to cut off the
I
rest.
wasn't sure if you were trying to show off your New Japan t-shirt or do another impersonation. No, I'm Dar for those of you who can't see Jack the Jobber at the moment. Let's talk about a Canadian hero, or 2 Canadian heroes, I should say, in the form of Bobby Roode versus Ty Dillinger. Ty, who is one of the most over people on the roster, versus the Glorious One. What do we feel about this match?
I think Ty could take it, you know?
It would be interesting.
I mean, we've had Bobby Roode's debut. I think he can start losing matches now.
Yep.
And it's the sort of thing where no one expects Ty to win. But I think he is really, really over. Like, he's one of the last proper homegrown, come up through developmental product of NXT talents. You know, I think he belongs on the main roster probably sooner rather than later. I'd like to see him win, but you know, that may just be a pipe dream. But I think I'm going to go with Ty Dillinger.
This match all stems from the first round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, where Ty Dillinger and Bobby Roode were partners. Bobby Roode didn't like the direction it was going in, decided he was going to walk out.
It was too good a team to be true. I was so excited.
But Ty has just got this aura about him, whether it's... I don't want to compare it to Daniel Bryan, but it's so natural, where he's literally just done it by himself. And no other forces.
It's very comparable to Daniel Bryan.
Well, they're both over because of a monosyllabic chant, and that's the only reason. No, I'm joking. No, Ty is good. He is very good, but I just don't think he's going to win. I think this is another step for Roode to get more over.
Ty may be becoming sort of like enhancement talent to the stars.
He's a gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper.
He's a gatekeeper.
Does Bobby Roode down the line take the NXT Championship?
It's a hard question because I can't see anyone on the level of Nakamura and Joe in NXT at the minute in terms of like that sort of aura of legitimacy. I don't think Roode's got that yet. I mean, if you look at him over the course of his career, he does, but just to a WWE crowd, no. He's come in and he's a guy with a catchy theme tune, and we know he's good, but he's only had one big win so far, and that was at the last TakeOver against Andrade Almas.
Yeah.
Was it against? Yeah, it was Andrade Almas.
Yeah, it was Andrade Almas.
And I think this is going to be another step. Maybe he could in the future, but at the minute I can't see anyone apart from Nakamura and Joe who could realistically hold the belt.
Maybe Aries, but like he's out now.
I was going to say, I've heard that Aries is out until at least the start of 2017
Yeah, he is.
with a very nasty eye injury. Get well soon, Austin Aries. Predictions on the match, you're going for...
I shouldn't
Are you going for Ty? I'll give you a chance to change your mind, if you want, Blom, yeah.
No, I'll go for Bobby Roode.
Ooh,
Yeah, 'cause
you've
converted
to Bobby.
I have converted to Bobby. I want Ty to win. I think Ty deserves a big win, and I think Rude can survive it. But in terms of it is quite a depleted main event scene in NXT right now, and probably Bobby Roode could do with an extra win if he's going to go up and challenge Nakamura at any point. I want Ty to win, but I'm going with Bobby Roode.
And Jack?
Bobby Roode as well, yeah.
It seems pretty comfortable on Bobby Roode. I'm like you, Lumpy. I'd love to see Ty win it, but I think they're going to try and push Bobby towards the NXT title, and I think to do that, you need to win.
Yeah.
Although there are a couple more names, some of them aren't on the card, like Roderick Strong.
Yes.
Could be set for a good run. Austin Aries when he comes back. The potential is there, so we'll see what happens with that one.
Surprising that Roderick Strong's not on the card. I mean, he's
is.
got that kind of cachet, his name. He doesn't need to kind of, I guess, pay his dues in NXT. But
I think he might do what what Hideo Itami did at the last one and run in and attack someone after they've won.
Yeah, it's a good
He could
shout.
do that. I don't know who, but he could. Mickey James just batters it.
We're going to move on to the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Final. The Authors of Pain, Rizar and Akam, are going against TM61, the team of Shane Miller and Nick Thorne.
Gosh, this feels different than a year ago, doesn't it?
I know, the final last year where the eventual winners were Balor and Joe.
I feel like many people have not really kept up with a lot of NXT since the big exodus to the main roster, so could you briefly sum up each tag team's gimmick, please? Because I know the Authors of Pain are big, scary dudes.
Authors of Pain, Vince's sort of very stereotypical big guys, intent to hurt. They're managed by Hall of Famer Paul Ellering, who has a very interesting catch in this match, which we'll get to in a minute. TM61, I believe, are from the Australia, New Zealand.
They're the Mighty Don't Kneel, yeah.
Mighty Don't
That's
Kneel.
a great name. I'm annoyed that they didn't keep that.
And
instead now it's TM61, which sounds like some sort
their
of
gimmick is just
Might be from
lubricant.
Pokemon.
What?
I'm going to search what TM61 is.
61
in
is
Pokemon.
the thing.
Will-o'-the-wisp.
Australia.
What?
It's Will-o'-the-Wisp.
That's TM61?
It is.
That makes no sense. Do they do that?
They do not.
Right, makes no sense.
But
Wait, what's Will-o'-the-Wisp?
An attack that burns in Pokemon.
Oh, right, okay.
That is what TM61 the move is in Pokemon.
That's what I'm thinking. I
Wow,
thought they
okay.
named after...
leave the 5-year-old in his box, please.
No, I'm fine. Digimon for life. But TM61 is the area code or the something code for Australia.
Oh, okay.
But they're pretty much just competitive sort of team. I believe they had a shot at the tag titles a number of months ago on NXT.
Can't remember.
Against a Revival, and obviously didn't pull it out. Again, big match because it's the final of the Classic, but the stipulation of this match is Paul Ellering is going to be suspended from a shark cage above the ring. Because the last 2 or 3 times that the Authors of Pain have wrestled, Paul Ellering has sort of got himself involved. I don't know what I feel about this.
It's proper old school NWA style stipulation. It's Jim Cornette era shenanigans. I quite like it. When was the last time a manager was suspended in a cage? Was it China?
I think it might have been China.
I'm up for it.
I like it.
It'll be silly.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm fine with it.
I suppose it's a rarity, which means it's not as frowned upon.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
It's not Russo. It's not Judy Bagwell on a forklift. It's not,
It's not the concrete crypt.
NXT have always been quite, old school.
Yeah.
Simpler storylines,
Focus
longer
on the wrestling.
storylines, focus on the wrestling, fewer, big events.
I just wonder if the cage will get involved.
Do you think
Like
the
if
cage will turn heel?
No, not like that. No, as in someone will do a move off the cage or something, or you fall out of it or something like that.
Maybe.
I think it depends. I believe it might be suspended from above the ring.
Or really high.
It might not be as easy as that.
Okay.
But it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, the winner of this match could potentially be set on big things and even a tag team title run in the future. Unlike last year's winners, but they went on to main event 2. Was it 2 or 3 takeovers? I believe it was 3.
2, I think.
London.
They were London as
Dallas, London, Dallas, and the cage match.
The end. There was 3, yeah.
So there is big things set for the winner of this tournament. And speaking of which, who's it going to be?
I'm considering that both teams are slightly lower down the pegging order. I think the Classic is the sort of thing that will probably set up a tag title feud. And I think probably TM61. I think they make slightly more sense going up against the Revival.
Yeah.
Although, have the Authors of Pain gone up against the Revival yet?
They have not.
Who was it that injured the Revival? I forget.
I can't remember who injured, but it was...
Because didn't Dash Wilder go out with like a...
Yeah, it was. I think it was a booked injury. But it can't be that bad if the Revival are wrestling on Saturday. I think it was just a case of getting them out of the tournament to put DIY through.
It's really tricky. Like, you know what? No, I'm going to go with the Authors of Pain.
Whoa.
The bicycle pump inflated shield. I'm going to think that the whole manager in a cage thing, that's subterfuge. I think they're going to win because I have a prediction about the tag title match later on.
Adam Pachi.
And Jack.
I have the tag title match later on.
This is the one that I can't really call. I'll go TM61, but I don't know. It's a coin flip for me. I don't know.
It is a coin flip.
What about you?
I think I'm going to go with TM61. I think this tournament, it seems more face-friendly.
Yeah.
I think maybe because of the link to Dusty, it seems more face-friendly, but I wouldn't begrudge the Authors of Pain getting the win as long as it's clean. If Ellering does stay out of the match altogether, because you've got to think that there's going to be some form of shenanigans, like the referee goes down and
Maybe
the Authors
the cage
comes down and Ellering gets involved. If the Authors of Pain go over clean, that's fair enough. But I'm kind of rooting for TM61 on this one.
Yeah, it is a babyface prize, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard, like the silver cowboy boots of a dead man. It's difficult. Like, I kind of want Authors to just trash the trophy.
Oh.
Well, Dusty wouldn't have minded.
Bill
To
Heath.
be honest, I thought the Revival were going to win this year. So when they went out, I was like, strange. So I don't think the babyface heel thing matters too much.
No.
Like the Andre battle, the Andre the Giant Memorial battle. What's the acronym?
The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
So the Atom.
ATGMB.
Atom.
Atgb.
Yeah.
Atgb.
I mean, Corbin's won that.
He has.
Big Show was a heel, I think, when he won out.
He was.
Cesaro was turning when he won
It's a
it.
tweener. More
Yeah. So I don't know. I still think TM61 though. I suppose. Yeah.
Jack, you mentioned the Revival. We're going to move on to, in my opinion, the match of the night. The match I'm most looking forward to. As are the guys, apparently. And that is the match for the NXT Tag Team Championships between the Revival and Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. 2 out of 3 falls.
Match of the year candidate.
The only thing I hope for in this match, I hope it's a great match. These guys have wrestled fantastic matches before, but the last time I saw Tommaso Ciampa wrestle a 2 out of 3 falls match, it was his final independent match against Zack Sabre Jr., and they did a double fall that I still to this day disapprove of. So I hope we don't see any of that.
No, I don't think they'll do that.
No.
I think this is going to be 2 out of 3 falls. It's going to be like the backbone of the show.
Yeah.
I think first of all, it's going to be great, and I think Ciampa and Gargano are going to win it.
You've got them.
Yes, I do. I think it might be the Revival's time to come to SmackDown and get that house in order.
When they sent a bunch of guys over for the draft, they sort of put the titles back on the Revival, because many people thought, they play a great sort of authority backers, so to speak. But they gave them tag titles as if to say, maybe not ready yet, but here's a reward for doing so well in NXT. Continue what you're doing. You could be right. It could be time for them to go up. It would strengthen the tag team the tag team show on either side, really. I
think, I personally think they're better off on SmackDown, just because I think you've got an oven-ready feud with American Alpha ready to go. I think just based on the Survivor Series lineups, SmackDown could do with another really reputable team.
Yeah.
Also, you don't want Scott Dawson going to where the club are, because they look identical. So I think Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano will take it, or they could fail and finally do that one-on-one feud. Split. But I'm gonna go with Ciampa and Gargano taking
What's your views on it, Jack?
I think the Revival will retain. But this is kind of based on my last prediction, because I don't think you can have the Authors of Pain and the Revival win at the same time.
Yeah.
Because that's like heel overload. No, I think the Revival will win. I don't know if they're ready to go. I don't know if they'll ever be ready to go, because they're not. they're pure NXT, aren't they? They're not really main roster. They haven't got the personality for it, and I'm worried they just go the same way as the club, where everyone knows they're good, but they don't have a chance to show that.
I think Ryan Wall can take care of them on SmackDown.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But I think they'll win, and I do think we'll see that Gargano v Ciampa feud.
Do we think it's 2 falls to 1 either way?
Yeah. I mean, no one really wants to see 2 straight falls in a 2.
I've seen Ciampa do it before. I've seen Ciampa lose 2 straight beforehand.
Yeah. I don't see it happening.
No, I think I'm gonna go with the Revival. I agree with Jack. It makes sense to have a face win the Dusty Classic and he'll retain the titles. I'd love to see the Ciampa Gargano feud.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Gargano as the heel. I know it seems to be set up that Ciampa's going to play the heel, but
That's interesting.
Gargano's a brilliant heel. If you've ever watched Smash Wrestling,
I've only seen bits and pieces when he was in
brilliant
when
heel.
he was in Chikara, like when he was in Team Fist. But I don't really know. I can't imagine him now as a heel. He's so adorable.
Ciampa just looks like a heel. He looks mental.
Who was he who said? Someone said he looks like Enzo Amore's sort of grizzled older brother, like evil older brother.
He does. He really does.
But yeah, I'm going to go with the Revival. Major shenanigans, but I'm going to go Revival 2 falls to 1. I think it's going to be the match of the night without doubt.
Yeah.
Moving on to the NXT Women's Championship match. A women's scene that has been depleted.
Yep.
There is only real one major name in that division, and it is the champion Asuka, who is defending the title against no one in the NXT Women's division. But she's defending it against a WWE Women's legend in Mickie James.
Weird one.
It is. Should be Trish, but it isn't.
It should.
right.
No, it was going to be Trish. It
What
was going to
happened?
be Trish, but Trish fell pregnant.
Right,
I say
right.
fell pregnant.
Fell
you know.
pregnant.
Just
pregnant.
She
there
was
it is.
pregnant.
It's very Shakespearean.
Yeah,
she was
Trish.
with child.
Yeah, so Trish couldn't happen. I think that might be in the works in the future.
In Toronto it would have been perfect.
Yeah, but with Trish out, Mickey's in.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun. I think that the crowd will be hot for it. I think it's slightly tempered by the fact there's no way in hell that Mickey's going to win.
There's no way.
Yeah.
But, you know,
But then-
they might, I don't know, would they put
But
it on her just to shock things?
NXT love doing weird surprises out of the blue, like when the men's title changed hands on a house show, stuff like that. But no, surely Asuka's gonna win.
I believe that you need Asuka to stay in NXT, and in order to do that, you need to be the champion, because if you look at the women's scene in NXT at the moment, it's practically non-existent. You've got some good up-and-comers, the likes of Ember Moon, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Liv Morgan, and they've signed a couple of really good...
They're following a really hard act, though, with the four horsewomen. You can't really top that. And
I could sort of see Asuka, like if Asuka, the only way I could see Asuka losing is if Mickie James kind of surprised her with a roll-up or something like that, and Asuka turned heel by beating the living out of Mickie James.
I've got to edit this.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, man. But and I imagine like that's the only way I could see Asuka losing it, and then she would take it off Mickie James the next time they fought.
yeah, I think Asuka will win. I think she'll tide the women's division over until that rumoured women's tournament, and then someone like Candice LeRae will come in, because I love Candice. That would be amazing.
That would be great. Are we pretty unanimous that it's going to be Asuka?
Yeah.
It's going to be Asuka, but let's see a good showing from Mickie James. It might get her into this tournament, which would only bolster it.
I wonder
if it
how
does
she
happen.
wrestles. I wonder how good she is, because she was with TNA not long ago. But
yeah,
I wonder.
It's been a while, but she has kept it okay. She's done a bit on the UK independent scene.
Yeah.
I did a count. I think Mickie James, if you combine her women's championships in WWE and TNA, she's held about 8 or 9 recognised women's world championships, which is just insane. Asuka Mickie James, it's going to be good, but in my opinion, they've got a tough act to follow with the 4 horsewomen. They need to start building that division very quickly.
Indeed.
And finally, the main event of the evening, the rematch for the NXT... Yeah, I was going to say the women's championship there for some odd reason. Let's try that again. Finally, we've got the main event of the evening for the NXT Championship. It is the rematch between the challenger Samoa Joe and the champion Shinsuke Nakamura.
Nakamura, Shinsuke!
This match was good the first time round.
It's not racist.
What was this?
Yeah, that's exactly what you were doing with that little...
Just doing the office.
Calm down, Noam. This match was good the first time round. How good is it going to be the second time round?
I hopefully Nakamura won't break Joe's jaw.
His orbital bone.
Oh, yes, indeed. I think it'll be better. I feel like they've got something to prove after the last match. The last match was good. I feels like it might have been a bit rushed towards the end just because of the injury. So I feel like, again, this is going to be a match that takes a long time, and I think it's going to be really, really great. I think Samoa Joe's been going on a rampage in NXT, which I've really enjoyed. But I think Nakamura is going to win, and we may see Joe at Survivor Series.
I really hope.
I like the intensity that Joe brings to NXT. Yeah. It's very no-nonsense. If you watch the contract signing, it's guess I'm going to sign this contract and just get the hell out of here and wait until TakeOver to maybe break Nakamura in half, if that is even possible. I would like to see Joe at Survivor Series, but at the moment I'm not 100% sure how he fits in. I don't see him running in to any matches unless they're going to surprise match. Maybe they just cancel the supposed Rusev face turn, have Rusev cut a big heel promo and just Samoa Joe come out and...
That would be nice.
Samoa Joe versus Rusev. Let's keep that for Survivor Series' podcast. But it would be good.
One thing, because obviously we want to do a thing at some point where I take you through TNA and we watch TNA and you learn the ways of TNA, all the ups and all the downs as well.
There are downs.
There's a few bobbles. But one of the guys that I think you would deepen your love for Joe so much if you watch some of his TNA stuff, because he's had matches with Angle and Styles and Punk in Ring of Honor, and he's just.
He also wrestled TNA's only 5-star match.
Yeah,
Indeed.
The triple threat with Daniels.
Styles and Daniels.
Yeah,
yes.
A 5-star match in TNA and in Ring of Honor, right? Because Joe versus
he wrestled Punk, but Nakamura's got 5-star matches behind him as well with the likes of Tanahashi. I believe he's got one with Okada as well. I
think was it Wrestle Kingdom 9? His one with
Wrestle Kingdom 9 with Kota Ibushi. He should have really got 5 stars for his match against Styles. 4 3/4.
Dave.
Damn it, Dave.
If Jericho had been in the match, he'd have given it 5.
Do we see Nakamura going unbeaten in NXT until the inevitable main roster call-up? In which case he would hold on to the NXT title like Owens?
It's tricky, because if he survives Joe and Joe leaves, if that was to happen, who is there?
Strong?
Maybe.
Rude?
I could imagine them just giving Roderick Strong a lightning push. He goes up against Nakamura and instantly wins. It's just I don't know who else because no one's really being built to match Nakamura at the moment. Rude could do it, but he doesn't feel on the same level. Aries doesn't feel on the same level because he's lost to Nakamura before.
Ibushi could have felt on the same level if he joined, but then maybe they were going to put him in. Maybe they were going to put him in cruiserweight.
Imagine. Okay, picture this in your mind, whether you're watching or listening. Nakamura, Ibushi, the night before WrestleMania for the NXT
that would have
Championship.
been that would have been great.
Yeah.
And I could see Nakamura losing that one. I could see that realistically happening.
That would set up Nakamura's main roster call, surely.
But I don't know. This is the biggest mystery in NXT at the minute, I think. When's Nakamura going to jump?
Yeah.
And is he going to drop the belt when he does? And I just don't know.
I could sort of see him. It's unlikely they'll do it, but I could sort of see him pull him double duty at WrestleMania weekend.
Do Saturday and Sunday?
I could see it. It's not likely, but I think what WrestleMania is missing is an NXT championship match.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the title defended on WrestleMania.
Let's see if that goes into WrestleMania. I'm going to get your official predictions for the main event. Nakamura versus Joe. Jack.
Nakamura.
Who takes it?
Nakamura.
Go on, Nakamura.
Yeah. Nakamura.
I'm going to go with Shinsuke Nakamura as well. Now, we'd normally do a Q&A from Twitter, but with this being a special episode, I haven't done that. So I'm going to post one question each of you guys and get your thoughts on it.
Sure.
What would you guys believe? We mentioned possibly an NXT Championship match at WrestleMania, which would be great. What would you guys think about an NXT Money in the Bank ladder match down the line?
Maybe. I don't think the roster feels big enough to do it. For main event guys, I think it would. Considering the talent you've got, I think it would be great. I think it's probably too risky for NXT. Like, because I mean, it is a developmental territory, right? They don't do a lot of gimmick matches, and I think one of the reasons why they don't is because they don't want to risk injuries to their guys while they're building them up, giving them momentum. You know, there've been injuries all over the shop recently. NXT has been safer from that, but you know, you've got Itami and Aries. I could maybe see it, but I'm in no rush to see them aping the main roster, to be honest.
I was going to say, I like it. I think it's a good idea, but I think that NXT needs it. I'd like NXT to have its own thing. It's got the Dusty Rhodes. It's got the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which is great because it's its own thing. And there's nothing like it on the main roster.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was that SmackDown Tag Title Tournament, but there's nothing. You know, there's no invitational tag title tournament.
I'd like to see it get like a yearly tournament or something, or maybe something like the G1. Something that doesn't quite. You know, it's just not a mirroring of WWE.
Yeah. Something for us, something for the smarky bastards, something for us.
That is going to do it for the NXT TakeOver podcast. You can follow me on Twitter